recent reports in the Western media, specifically The Guardian this time, has been an extensive discussion in and around India. The report appears to say that Indian agents are killing terrorists in Pakistan. They quoted largely Pakistani documents and unidentified officials in Pakistan. And as they claim, some officials in India also they have spoken to who tell them about what is happening inside the Prime Minister's office, where the strategy of ghar mein ghus ke maro is established. What bothered me about the narrative, and that has been the same for some years now, and is not restricted to any one outlet in the international press, is to show the Pakistani establishment as some poor, bichara, feeble country that just sits quietly in a corner praying for the goodwill of the world or world peace. And two, it's to show terrorists as dissidents. Mentioning three dreaded terrorists killed in Pakistan: Shahid Latif, Jaish-e-Mohammed commander; Bashir Pir, Hizbul Mujahideen commander; or Riaz Ahmad, Lashkar-e-Taiba commander. These men are terrorists, gangsters launching bloodshed across Jammu and Kashmir. For example, apart from adults, children died in the Dangri village explosion in Rajouri in January 2023, of which Riaz Ahmad was the mastermind. The question should be, why does Pakistan shelter such terror groups? How can these men live in peace and freedom despite organizing massacres and blasts in India? No. But the question will be asked to India about how can India in turn kill these men, if at all India has done it. Another example for you, the mention of Zaheer Mistry, killed in 2022. That according to the report, Indian agents paid someone to get him killed. But who was this Mr. Zaheer? He was involved in hijacking the IC-814 aircraft on 24th December 1999. It resulted in the release of 3 hardcore terrorists, which included Maulana Masood Azhar, who went on to plan many more attacks against India. Azhar attended Zaheer's funeral. Pakistan media reported Zaheer's death as the death of a businessman. Simple. Sources from such a country, sources from such agencies are being quoted to pin against India. I mean, if at all, this shows India never forgot the death of its innocent people, and that here on, India will strike to defend itself even if it means going beyond one's territory. Why should Indians always be on the defensive in hope that a frustrated neighbor may evolve and change in the future? Because it's never happening. Western media loves to quote a word I have noticed, whether it's about Khalistani radicals or Pakistani extremists, and that word is dissident, meaning someone who is a critic, disagrees with the government, you know, like an opposing view in the intelligentsia or the political corridors. These are dissidents. They belong to dissident groups. What were they doing in Pakistan, writing brave letters of equality and tolerance? I mean, kuch bhi, just to write. Also, let me remind you about something. When the United States of America killed Osama Bin Laden on Pakistan soil, for example, it was in complete secrecy initially as an operation. Remember this?
Burn in hell! Burn in hell, Osama Bin Laden!
It turned into a celebration, no questions asked, no debates, not even a covert virtue signaling, but appreciation from all quarters across the world, because it was a good fight against terror. Mayor Michael Bloomberg had hailed Bin Laden's death as a milestone, asserting it injected a new life into Lower Manhattan and reaffirmed the city's resilience. India, however, must feel apologetic and guilty at all times. It must be shamed into a corner even if India even thinks of defending its people against Pakistan. All it took was one 9/11 for America to act. India has been battling Islamist extremism for decades, especially in the Kashmir Valley. By all facts, mentioned commandos are of designated terror groups, and they're finding a safe haven in a country that is known to provide shelter to terrorists. And if hypothetically, let's assume, India were responsible for a terrorist death, would that really be a bad thing? Think about it. I intend to be very clear here. I'm not defending any inter-country killing because these are grey areas and we must be cautious of it. Also, there is no real evidence here. We do not even know if India has committed these killings. Claims are primarily by Pakistan, and can that be trusted? But if true, if at all, that we have become now like Russia's KGB or Israel's Mossad. Believe me, that makes India look good. That is the nation becoming so strong now with its intelligence and research wings that it can use international networks to kill terrorists, gangsters in Pakistan or anywhere. That their international clout of this country is growing to such an extent, and that we do not just do kadi ninda anymore. Believe me when I say this, many Indians would actually appreciate that we refuse to remain as sitting ducks in Kashmir anymore. Look at these faces, don't forget. Innocent men, women across communities, across states who were living in Kashmir or simply came to work, even poor laborers, were identified and shot dead in the past 4 years only because Pakistan-sponsored terrorism does not want to see Jammu and Kashmir with the days of peace and progress. So what should India do? Please be kind to the terrorists and terror network and follow all international rules. Whether it's the international media or let's say a Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, they may love to equate any information as some evil version of India. But the question should also be asked of them. Does Canada really want to become another Pakistan? Why do they want and intend to harbor extremists and radicals? Does the international media realize that attempting to come to the rescue of fundamentalists today may come to knock at your door the next day too? As I conclude, for anyone referring to a list by India that is forcing dissidents to live in hiding in Pakistan should remember one thing. I know about a list, released every few weeks across Kashmir, the list that mentions innocent Hindus living in the valley, their address and numbers, where they are branded infidels and encouraged to be killed if they do not leave, if they do not stay quiet. I know about a list where names of patriotic Muslims in Kashmir are mentioned with their details. They are threatened as collaborators with India. They face death threats for simply standing up to radicalism and extremism. Only because these brave people challenge Pakistan's horrific plans. This is the list Western media should be reporting about. For a better world, where terrorists should stand no chance. Thank you for watching.